So, Linda, I was supposed to have Yvette Harrell at this time, and then I wasn't sure I was going to have Yvette Harrell, and then I was told we were going to have Yvette Harrell, and then I was told we can't have Yvette Harrell because her schedule changed. You know, they're on the floor debating the Inflation Increasing Act.
There's no common sense up there. If somebody left, nobody'd notice.
This is true, and but it is going to create jobs. 87,000 IRS agents are going to be hired when this bill passes.
Whoopie-doo.
87,000.
And where are they going to find all these people?
You don't think that there's enough people out there that say, hey, come on in here, go to work, we're going to give you a government job with a government pension, and you get to spy on people.
Well, if you put it that way.
And you get to find people guilty of cheating on their taxes.
Yeah, and then you better watch your back all the time because they're going to be after you.
Yeah.
They'll have a hitman after you.
Yeah. That's right.
It's so lame.
You know, I may apply for one of those jobs.
Good luck.
Government job, government pension, and I get all kinds of tax and income information on Americans all over the place, and I can say, ooh, this guy's got to be cheating. Let's do an audit.
I personally think if you just send them a check, they ignore you.
Well, but how big does the check have to be?
Well, if you're poor and it seems like it's quite a bit, they still probably ignore you.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got money. Okay, she must be good. Go on.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I was looking at these job requirements to be one of these new IRS agents. Must be a U.S. citizen. Minimum education, Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. Unable to think for yourself.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh. Well, nobody that works for the government thinks for themselves. They just kind of muddle through.
It's a process deal. I remember one time, as a radio station that gets a license from the FCC, there's some certain amount of paperwork we have to do.
Well, of course.
And there's a certain amount of process that we have to do. And I remember asking, not the FCC attorney we have now, but the one that we had previously that's since retired so we could go fishing. I said, does anybody actually read these things, these reports that we have to do?
Right.
There's 12,000 radio stations across the country. So every single one of those radio stations has to file this report.
And how many pages is that report?
Well, it depends, but the point is,
right,
there's 12,000 of these reports that are filed. Does anybody read these reports? Do they actually ever get read? And he said, you don't understand. It's not the content that matters. It's the process that matters. Did you fill it out? Did you submit it on time? That's what is of concern.
So the rest of it could be hen scratching.
Right.
And it wouldn't make any difference.
Well, if you don't file it or you don't file it on time, then that opens it up to additional scrutiny.
You could do that, but it could be garbly-gook that you wrote on it and they'd never know as long as you filed it on time.
Very much the possibility, yes. I think there is a time when they do get reviewed.
They're probably just random pull about a dozen out of that
Well,
mess.
there was, we had our license renewal, was it last year? Or was it earlier this year? It was earlier this year. We went through our license renewal. Licenses are renewed for 7 years. So we just went through
the process
to get our next 7-year permission to broadcast. And there was one form that we create that we had not updated on one of our websites. That got caught and pointed out to us by the FCC person who was reviewing our renewal application. And we're like, uh-oh. And so we got that taken care of right away. It didn't cause any problems.
Right.
And our renewal happened.
How many people work for the FCC that deal with all of this mess?
I have no clue. I have no clue. And they don't do all the states at the same time. So, New Mexico was this year in April, I think it was. And so they'll do so many states each year, so many states each month. And then the staff at the FCC reviews all that material and content for those stations that are submitting their application. So that's when there's some scrutiny of what you do. But the rest of the time, it's all process. Did they file their report? Did they file it on time? And if you filed your report and you filed it on time, then they tend to move on to other situations. But if you don't file your report, or you don't file it on time, or you have a history of repeatedly not filing or not filing on time, then the red flags go up, and then they start actually analyzing the content and what you're actually doing. And I'm guessing that that's the same way for a lot of other businesses that have direct interactions with the federal government. And now 87,000 IRS agents are going to be hired, and so there's going to be more scrutiny and more analysis, and it's more on the process side of things. And that's the other thing too, in the IRS's eyes, it seems like, unlike our criminal justice system, in which you are innocent until proven guilty.
Theoretically.
Correct. It seems like in the tax enforcement side of things,
You're guilty.
You're guilty. And
No matter
you have
what.
to prove you're not guilty. And that seems to me backwards. And wouldn't it be nice if that was changed?
And where are they going to put all these people?
Oh, all over the
Obviously,
country.
they're going to be working from home.
Some may be working from home. Some may be working in field offices. I mean, there may be real estate people, property owners across this country that are going to say, hey, we'd love to have the government rent an office from us. So I mean, there's economic activity that's going to be generated from this. Like I said, 87,000 government jobs, 87,000 government pensions.
And I guess we're going to be paying their salary.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And their
Joy.
pensions. So
Yeah, things need to be changed.
that's what I'm saying.
there.
I think I need to apply for one of those jobs. And then I'm going to walk in once I get the job, and I say, all right, I want to check on these people. Can I?
Yes. I have some suspicious.
Yeah. I have some people that we need to check on. I think they're guilty. All right, and they're not. Unfortunately, they wouldn't be. They most likely wouldn't be Republicans. Although I could think of a few. We hadn't investigated Mitt Romney in a while. Let's check him out.
Yeah,
All right.
there you go.
Linda's here. We're going to talk more trash on the other side of the news.